Hello and welcome. I'm going to just give a few moments to wait for people to come onto the chat, but I did want to go a little deeper into some of the cosmic energy and solar weather that we are currently experiencing, and some of the messages that have been coming to me through that. So, hello and welcome. I have been spending a lot of time really processing messages and information that has been coming through to me. And I feel like it's a good time to start to share. I did write a few things down, and I don't know if I'm going to get to all of them in this one sitting, but I do always encourage others to engage and chime in on your experiences and what messages you've been receiving, or what questions you may have. Again, I don't look at myself as someone who is special or knows it all, although for many times in my journey I feel like I got a head start as far as the intuitive messages that I receive. So anyway, hello and welcome. For any of you who are new, my name is Paige. I am a psychic intuitive channel. And I don't like to box myself in. Hi, Martin. I don't even like to label myself, but I feel like I have to identify with something. So there's that. How are you doing? Quite the boost in energy, maybe, or feeling like the way that I have been experiencing it is definitely the Neptune, who will be, it is in pre-shadow, or post-shadow, about to go direct. And well, let's just get into that, because I feel like things are becoming much more clear, or the path is being cleared for us to understand or trust more in what we don't fully know. But so let's go through that. I'm going to kind of just give a little bit of notes, what I wrote down from yesterday to today as topics I want to talk about. So chime in when you feel called to. I have been, we'll get to Neptune in a minute. This has been brought to me so many times in the past few weeks by people asking me if I know someone, or if I am able to remove entities and dark energies from people's homes. So this is something that is spiking in a lot of people's experiences, the paranormal activity that goes on. So I want to talk about my experience and my understanding of entities, energies, and even ETs as well. There's a lot that I have experienced from childhood on up, and to expand and understand now on my path even deeper is just, and I'm getting the green light from the guides in my heart. Like, yeah, this is, I get a little shy sometimes in that area, because I do know that there are people out there who specialize in these things, like Ghostbusters, so to speak, and I don't want to step on anybody's toes. But my take on it is expanded. It's a bit different. Warmer, got the central heating working. Oh wow, it hasn't worked for over 7 years. Well, glad you have heat now. That's good. We all need to have our temperature controlled to a degree where we're not suffering. So that is good. Yeah, it's cold and rainy here. Although yesterday, so if any of you are on my Facebook page or Instagram, I had shared some of the photos that I took on one of my walks yesterday during this solar storm. And as I'm walking, I'm also interacting with my guides, with the universe, and I had some big emotions and big expansive questions of my own. And I look up and I see it just in the midst of the sky, this beaming and I had the vision of, you know, the Pink Floyd album where it has like the white light coming through, then the triangle, and then it turns into the prism, the rainbow. So that was something that came to me before I got to this spot. And I look up and there's this piece of a rainbow, but it wasn't like a bow, it was just the prisms in the midst of the sky. Thinner socks. There's this piece in the sky that's and it was such good timing, because it went from that Pink Floyd album, you know, with the color spectrum of the white light, to actually seeing it in the sky, and it started to morph and shift and change, and suddenly I was able to see the aurora, or the halo around the full sun, which is also in the prism colors. So then my heart started to expand. I'm like, oh, this is happening again. And then I look up even more, and there's an upside down, very vivid rainbow, like opposite of the halo to the sun. So if you're on my Instagram or on my Facebook, check out the pictures that I shared, because and I tried to get it all in one shot. It was really hard, but oh my gosh, it was amazing. The sky has been doing amazing things lately for sure. So I wanted to share that. So I'm going to talk about Neptune going direct, which will be on the 6th, but we're already in this energy. We're already feeling this energy. We're already experiencing this energy. Weird. Yesterday I had Pink Floyd going all day. That's great. We must be on that same wavelength then. That's awesome. Also talking about our perception of time and timelines. That's another thing that I want to talk about, and some newer visuals and streams of information that I received on that. The Schumann resonance. As I woke up this morning, if any of you are familiar with that, or have that app, has shot up from its regular between 7 and 8 hertz to 86 hertz. Big blast from the Earth's frequency. Hi, Patsy. Big blast from the Earth's frequency, as well as the incoming streams of solar winds and solar storms. And then as of yesterday, as I'm doing that walk and seeing all of these prisms in the sky in multiple shapes and forms, it was like the sky was speaking to me, and it seemed like everybody around me, nobody else saw it. So I had to take pictures. So I'm like, am I seeing this? No, it showed up on my pictures. Not as vivid as what I saw, but still. There were several. I started getting notifications of these earthquakes going off, especially in the Philippines. They've had several earthquakes, but all over there, the earthquakes are hitting like 7 on the Richter scale in some areas. So this is what will happen when we have this incoming energy onto the earth. It actually hits the, especially the water underneath, from what I'm gathering. Hot springs and whatnot, or even underneath the ocean, and it activates, it changes things. I'm surprised volcanoes aren't going off, although I don't want to put that out there. So the earth is having its own purge. It's having its own reaction. It's having its own effects from all of this energy, as are we. So let's get into it. Let's get into oh, this is really nice. I had another channeled message this morning. Just these are things I know, I'm aware of, but it's hard to find the words sometimes. And then all of a sudden, the entire stream of information or the wording comes in to me directly. And it looks like I lost some people. So give me a wave if you're still there. Because I don't know how streaming live. I was conflicted. Do I do this live so I can get the interaction, or do I just do a video? And I chose to do it live so I could hear what you guys, oh, still here? Okay. So I could get feedback on what other people are experiencing, what messages you might be getting, what changes, and maybe from some of the things that I'm writing down may be like, oh yeah, memories, you know. What was the title of your Taurus reading? My poor daughter was forced to stay in the moment and listen to it. Your poor daughter. I don't remember what that was, but I did get a lot of response from that this morning. Oh, you know what? I write them down. Taurus, slow down. Well, I have on here, and it might be a little bit different on the title of the video, but it was about slowing down and listening to your inner voice. So, yeah, well, here, and when I go into the Neptune energy, you'll understand what we've been going through for the last 5 months. And see, it's funny because I know these things, but when I'm in it, I totally get tuned off of the map of astrology for myself, even, so that I can have the experiences. And then when I get turned back on, I'm like, oh yeah, totally what I just experienced in the last 5 months. Oh, trying to look up for my title. Yes, the path, clearing the way. We're clearing the Neptunian fog. It will begin to clear. It takes some time, and everybody's experience is unique. On the spiritual path, by the way, and I wanted to put this out there because I do know from experience and from interacting with other people that a lot of us, well, all of us, we all are the victim. In the beginning, it feels very victimization of other people's projections of their own pain onto us. So we are, and as we evolve, as we move on the path in the spiritual journey, we are evolving from being a victim of others projecting their pain onto us, within us, projecting things that can get stuck in us and stuck in our minds. And it all serves its purpose, but we are evolving that to being a natural healer. And this doesn't mean that you have to actually do anything, but the light within, the understanding within, that when people are just nasty, they're projecting their pain within, they're projecting what has been done onto them onto the light, because they also know that we hold a source of healing for them, although internally and mentally, psychologically, they're not there yet. So they're really just doing what feels very natural to them. So we're evolving into becoming more of the healers of the world, over those who attempt to project their pain onto us. It's transmuting that pain. So it does not mean that you have to take anything, but what it means is that as we mature, as we evolve, as we grow, we will no longer be a victim to that. We will actually hold so much stabilization and light within us that the projections don't penetrate, they don't get internalized, and that turns the energy back onto those projecting it, into pushing them onto their healing journey. So we're actually not being a savior. We're not really being a healer, so to speak, like in the formal word, but it is a source. It is an act of service as just to be alive on this planet. So we move from being victim to healer in that sense, if that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. The silly season. All right, so Neptune, right? Neptune went retrograde June 30th of this year. And Neptune stations retrograde for 5 months every year. Every year we go through this. But this one, as we evolve, along with all the other cosmic energies and the solar weather, I find this one to be a bit more profound. For me specifically, but from what I'm witnessing and experiencing in others on their life path, on their evolutionary journey themselves. So Neptune is the planet. It is the planet that is more in tune with the spiritual realms. It is the planet of psychic sensitivities, intuition, and our ability to feel what others feel. The planet that relates to the spiritual, our ability to access states of flow that allow us to transcend limitations and victimizations and challenges on our current, transcend these challenges on our current, of our current conditions. The planet that brings our attention to our spiritual expansion, magnifying our sensitivity, our awareness of other dimensions, energies, and connection to everything. So that is Neptune in a nutshell. When Neptune retrogrades, so let me see, it's been over a year since last removed myself. I still feel the energy and wonder. It's been over a year since last removed myself. A year. What did you remove yourself from? I'm curious. Something told me to look up. So when Neptune retrogrades, 4 or 5 months every year. Oh, silly season. I see. I get it. You know, I had removed myself from the silly season as well, but I found that this year I feel, I not only feel, I see, it's coming to me, a sense, a calling to be of service, to have my heart open, not to participate in it as the way that everyone else does or the way I had in the past, but I feel a big heart expansion for me this year. So when Neptune retrogrades, so Neptune went retrograde in June, on June 30th of this year. When Neptune retrogrades, illusions, delusions, and deceptions tend to be revealed slowly but surely. Disillusionment's purpose is to bring us closer to our truth. I have truth in all caps. What we are each learning about ourselves and of life on our journey. Neptune is connected to universal or absolute truth that emerges when the veil of illusion is lifted and we are finally able to see truth. We are allowed to see more than when Neptune is direct. So these past months have been difficult for many because we are seeing the lies, we are seeing the deceit, we are seeing the intentions that are not of integrity in others. We're seeing the truth all around, but we're also seeing and reviewing our own integrity and truth on our path up to this time. Neptune was retrograde when you were born. So you were born already seeing that. I mean, I'm just picking this up. Born already seeing this. And many of us do. And that's why that's why it's been an interesting journey for us most of our life. Can't unsee it anymore. So this is universal. So as Neptune begins to move forward now, as we'll start to see more clearly our path forward. We may be inspired to let go of the need to define ourselves, to prove ourselves, dissolve ways of being and thinking that are a result of our conditioning, our trauma, and our coping mechanisms. This is a big one for most of us empaths, is really, truly dissolving old ways of thinking and being, and no longer feeling the need to operate the way we had in the past, or, prove ourselves, prove our worth in any way possible. This could be the conclusion of a chapter in our lives. We're invited to remain present as we experience the uncertainty of not knowing what's next, and explore ways to connect with and channel our increased sensitivity, empathy, and our desires. No more the doormat. When Neptune is retrograde, our radar, which are our feelings and our emotions, are more astute at picking up and perceiving the elusive. It's easier to gain information on issues that eluded us while Neptune is direct. It's important to actually do something about the issues and problems we pick up on while Neptune is retrograde. So while Neptune's been retrograde, we're seeing more in-depth truth about our own journey and maybe the issues surrounding that. And it's important once Neptune goes direct that we actually start to do something about it. If you don't do the internal work through the retrograde, you'll be plagued by feelings of disillusion and dissatisfaction. So some of the advice that I have written down here, especially during the Neptune retrograde, because this is the time where we're really reviewing, not only reviewing, but we are cultivating more psychic perceptions, deeper psychic perceptions. Avoid drugs and alcohol, stimulants, and other chemicals as much as possible during the Neptune retrograde so that you're able to pick up on all that's being shown to you. Protect yourself by refraining from contact with addictive personalities, psychic attractions, and overwhelming people who drain your energy, as this is the best time to work on cultivating your own psychic perceptions. So I think that most of us intuitively already, we just got another earthquake. I just got a notification. Philippines again, 7.0. It's important. We naturally, intuitively already know this. And I've had to put this into practice myself on my journey to really try. Actually, most of them have actually just been removed. I didn't really do much of anything. And another earthquake. I don't know. I keep getting the notifications. So we're still getting a lot of the earth. This is going to be an interesting time for sure. I'm not picking up a whole lot. Message-wise on the magnitude of this solar weather, but just to make sure that before you move forward in anything you say or do is that you are internally stable. So taking a breath before you speak, taking a moment to like check in with yourself before you even get out of your car to go into somewhere. It's important because there's a lot of energy going on throughout the planet, and we are reactive creatures. Even the animals are reactive, and if there's an unknown source, that reaction can be of fear, which can turn into trauma responses, basically. My little sister's birthday on 11th, so is Neptune and Sag. The pause, practice the pause, exactly. So I'm curious to see, how other people are experiencing this energy so far, and if you've had any big insights over this Neptune retrograde since June 30th for yourself. I know for myself personally, it has been exactly what I spoke of before, as far as like leaving the realm of being a victim. So I'm no longer even so concerned about who is in my presence, which I've actually experienced this. And it's taken steps for me to get there, because being very sensitive, being energetically sensitive, and being tested a lot on the path, we kind of get shell-shocked sometimes, and we're a little, even if you're feeling like I can be in this crowd or I can be in some public space without it affecting me. I had taken those steps where I understood how I could protect my energy and stay really grounded and stable. But one step further is to actually openly allow those who feel called to come to me, which they do. Strangers and whoever will hone me out of a crowd and will hand me some need of theirs, or they'll just energetically understand that there's something that I possess that they are in need of. And that's how my heart reads it. It's no longer a fear, and I'm no longer feeling like I'm going to be hit with some strange surprise, which they do happen from time to time. And if they do, I know how to handle them in a much more peaceful manner for myself and for others than I have even over the retrograde. I had some pretty big experiences with a few people that really taught me that valuable lesson for myself. I'd hate to impose. You want to elaborate on that, Martin? Impose. I'm going to pull a couple cards for us too. I really wanted that Neptune energy really was pulling me to talk about it today, because through the retrograde period, like I said, and it's definitely been in my contemplations for the last few weeks, especially since this, well, for the last few months, really. I'm reminded of all of the, and sometimes things can happen so fast or so quickly, or new insights can fly through so quickly that we don't fully pick up on the bigger effects that they are going to have on our consciousness, on our human psyche altogether, until we sit back and reflect on, and I do invite everybody to sit back and reflect on the last 5 months. What has become, what truths have been revealed to you about yourself, about your journey, and about life? Bigger truths, spiritual truths. And did some of these truths reveal hidden problems or issues that you've been working with, reveal a solution to hidden issues that you have been experiencing on your journey? For instance, I know I always try to give an example and I get pulled away. I recently started to do sessions with people one-on-one at in person at a healing center nearby. And while I was very excited to, there's also always an aspect of me that gets nervous. I don't know what I'm going to be engaging with. And even though I'm a reader, I have the cards, I have that channel. This is kind of like my training wheels, if you say, of channeling. Didn't you say you'd like to build your own deck of cards? I feel called to email you. Yes, I do. I've been wanting to create my own deck for many years now. And I did have an idea, or a flash that came through me a couple weeks ago, because I had a lot of messages that I wanted to put as oracles. And I should have wrote them down. It'll keep happening. I loop through these things, but I wanted to just find blank cards until, I got to that point, because I am doing this other thing of, which is new. And it's not that it's out of my comfort zone, but it's so new to be coaching someone one-on-one and reading their energy and helping them dive into their inner psyche one-on-one. It's very natural for me, but there's a part of me, there's an aspect of me from my younger years, from my childhood, that always questions, what am I getting myself into, because of my old trauma. So I had to really sit with that and work through that. And it's still a work in progress, but I clearly see the blocks. I clearly see, it's not a block, but I clearly see that little part of me that can aggravate me. It can annoy me until I'm actually in this. It's beforehand. It's not while I'm in session, but it's like driving to the session. I get this like, I hope that, and I'm always in communication with the guys, but I'm like, I hope that you stay with me. I hope that we connect. I'm always waiting for the other shoe to drop. Like, oh, we're going to test her today kind of thing. And that's just, they keep telling me that's just not the case. That is not how this is going to roll out at all. This is actually something that it's very divinely guided. It is very destined on my path, and it's something that just naturally occurs for me, that I'm now at a place more recently where I'm very much more comfortable in engaging with others. Just tuned in. Neptune was in Scorpio in your natal chart. Yeah, I already talked about Neptune, sorry. What I was talking about with Neptune, I was explaining the aspects of Neptune, how it links us to our sensitivities, our psychic senses, and spirituality, and otherworldly experiences. And when Neptune goes retrograde, suddenly we're able to really see clearly through a lot of the fog, the illusion. We're seeing things we don't really want to see. We are seeing things that we're feeling things we don't want to feel about ourselves even. And yeah, very spiritual. And you know, that's the other aspect is sometimes we always question, why are we alone on our journey so much? Well, because it's important to have this deeper connection with your guides, with the spiritual realms, with whatever energies you are really connecting to. The more that we have faith and trust and communication with that, because when the floodgates open, trust me when I say, the opportunities start to come our way in such a much more expansive way, and we're more confident and feel more comfortable in them. Not that you're going to feel completely confident and comfortable. We do have to jump out of our comfort zone to then realize, like, oh, this is actually where I belong. Needed to hear this. Just retired after 35 years and looking for what's next. Oh, wow. Wow, 35 years with last employer. So yeah, Neptune, while it's retrograde, we are picking up on a lot more that we weren't able to see while Neptune is direct, because when Neptune's direct, we do kind of have rose-colored glasses on sometimes. When Neptune's direct, we are more nebulous, and it feels good if you're in that energy, in that flow. Sometimes it can just seem foggy and confusing. But so this is a really great time now, because Neptune still is retrograde, but we're in that shadow aspect where we're starting to feel more of the effects of Neptune going direct now. Yet we have the insight of the last 5 months of Neptune retrograde. So whatever you've experienced and witnessed as truth, the truth of your experience that you weren't able to see before in the last 5 months, this is the time to really, hone in on those truths, and any of those truths that were causing you issues or problems in your life. This is a good time to do something about them, whatever it is that's internally calling to you to do. And everybody's journey is different and unique for them. But because if we don't, as Neptune goes direct, you can really start to feel the disillusionment and dissatisfaction again. Because it's something that you knew, the cosmos, the universe exposed to you some truth, and you chose to not do anything. And to not do anything is a choice also. Anyway, that is in a nutshell what I was talking about with Neptune. And even though I say the path forward is being cleared, it is being cleared with the insight, with the truth that we were receiving over the last 5 months. So some of them are hard truths. Some of them are really going to take people out of their comfort zone. But to understand and realize that if you don't make a change, if you don't, in any way, shape, or form, whether it's a belief system, a thought pattern, or an actual action, a shift and change in your entire life or an area of life, if you don't make that change, you're going to feel that. You're going to experience that in a much deeper manner, and things are going to become very unsatisfactory. We're gifted with that extra element of those rose-colored glasses came off for 5 months. And we're really seeing deep, hardcore truths that we need to see. We do. So let's get a message for us all, for this energy. And then you add in the solar weather. That's just a whole nother elevation in consciousness. It's another energy designed to rattle us and shake old stuff loose. I didn't even go into any of the other transits because I was really just guided to think about Neptune right now. Nine of emotions. Our dreams, our wishes, our desires, what would feel amazing for us right now. Page of emotions. Getting enthusiastic about those things. When was the last time you felt super duper enthusiastic about life and something, even if it's totally unknown, but you're like, yeah, I can't wait to just experience something different? I think we've all been kind of in a bit of a void. And this is still, we're still in that in-between phase. Although we're getting closer to being able to touch the other side of whatever it is that your life path. It's almost like this bridge between your old life, and I can't believe that card didn't come out yet, and your new life experience. We're on this bridge, which kind of feels like stretched out and elongated, this void of unknown, and even maybe not even knowing exactly how you feel about things or where you're going and it's really meant to continue to do that internal review. We still have some big planets in retrograde internal review as we're moving forward. So we're kind of, and life is like that, right? Life is like, we're gonna get right into this. The way I'm being shown, I'll show you two things. I like to have visuals, right? So life is not a straight line. It is not linear. Life kind of starts out that way, but then we spiral around, we go all over the place. We're here, we might have a couple times of straightness, and then we spiral around here, we're all up there and around here, and then we come back. That is what true life is like, right? Also, to blow your mind a little bit more of what's been shown to me is when we're walking life, it's not this straight linear line. There's the path, but actually, let's see if I can even do that with this piece of paper. I can't. Need a square. So look at it. Darn it. Hold on. I'm not the best teacher in this aspect. Bending time and space. And that was another, I can't get it here. But linear time is man-made. So we are repeating things. We're going to go on a straight path, and then we're going to go back around and touch back on past stuff. We're going to go on a straight path, and we're going to go back around and touch stuff again. Re-experience things, re-experience the exact same thing, or re-experience lessons that haven't fully been understood or learned or integrated. Let's see here. Okay, my purpose. Still can't figure it out. I have Pluto in Virgo about a skill set in helping humanity, or the fact it's in the third house and culminating my own communication style through my experiences. Ups and downs needed for learning. Yes, yes, yes. The roller coaster. And, you know, we might as well, and this is definitely something I've come to terms with, start to enjoy that roller coaster ride. Because there are high highs, there are low lows, but we don't have to go with the fear. We don't have to go with the fear of the unknown. When you're really trusting that you're present each day. Every day is a gift, right? We don't know if we're here tomorrow or not. Let's be here. And that's another thing that can really drive you into expressing. It will come to you, Martin. It will come to you. The more you get frustrated about not seeing, the more you're going to kind of keep yourself in that space. Unless you were saying you couldn't see what I was drawing, because I didn't really. I need like a whiteboard behind me. Yeah. And that's another thing. We are so conditioned. We are so programmed. And depending on your upbringing and your father specifically, but both of your parents, and what they instilled in you, that's also ancestral patterning and family conditioning that we've been working through. And once we realize we even have that, that's the other aspect of it. We got to understand and realize we have these patterns and that they are not really truly who we are or what we're meant to be doing. And we break free of those patterns. We still find ourselves in a void from time to time as to now what? Now what? And that's an invitation to go deeper within and to really allow it to come to the surface, as well as allow life to bring it to you, to give you opportunities to reflect. Like I was saying, people coming to me asking me about if I was able to, or if I knew somebody who could clear out dark energy from people's homes or entities or ghosts. Intuitively at those times I was like, yeah, I know someone. I would give off the name, but then I also knew it came to me 3 times this well, I won't say this month, between November and just last week. Enough time, and more in the past, enough times for me to know the universe is knocking on my door like, hey, we're going to want to beef this up, your inner knowing about energies, entities, ghosts, ETs, so that you can educate people and empower them to not be afraid of what is happening. And so that clicked in. Oh, okay. Instead of being afraid, like, what I don't know if people are going to actually understand it or absorb it or take it in or not. It's easier for them. We are humans of creatures of habit. It's easier to have just someone come in like Ghostbusters and clear it all out and it's all fine and done. And that's actually not the case. You might be okay for a little while, but you're actually the part of the channel of that energy that's coming in anyway. And it's so deep. I mean, I could go into it here and now. If anybody's interested. But anyway, that's just an example of like life is going to show you. It will keep knocking at your door and you might not even consciously fully be aware of like what my next mission is. It's not this huge, grand, big picture like we are trained to. We go to university and we do all these things and I'm going to be a doctor. Fine. But like in your doctor rules and in your doctor life, you're going to be exposed to many different ways that you can actually truly help people. It's every single day or every moment on your path, life is going to come in and show you, and you're going to know. You already know. It's something you're naturally born with as a gift. It's going to show you. Here's an opportunity, even though the opportunity might not be fully out there. Here's an idea. It's implanting the seed. Here is an idea for you. Let this germinate a little bit and see what other things start to sprout. Once it germinates and you become comfortable with the idea, it's like, all right, that actually, I could do that, right? I could teach this class, or I could teach people about entities and energies, and their psychic senses and what they're picking up, and the channels and all of that. I can do that. And then suddenly, bam, Paige, do you know anybody who could clear out or entities and dark energies? I mean, you can't make it up. That's how life engages and interacts with us, you know? Mm. Love the way you explain. The Virgo curiosity in me feels satisfied. Good. I need a mirror. Life is always mirroring to us. You just got to pay attention to it a little bit deeper in that way. Instead of taking everything so literally, which we're trained to, is to be more abstract. That's Neptunian energy, right? It's abstract. It is more of the Pablo Picasso type of way of seeing things. So many path changes available. Oh, infinite possibilities. That's the thing. So if you get a seed, an idea, the seed implanted, I could sit with this idea, and then starts to germinate. Oh, I'm feeling confident in this idea, or excited about this idea. Here we go with the cards. Excitement. I'm getting excited about this idea. I have enthusiasm about this idea. It's actually now becoming my desire. Watch life unfold to you and unpack that in the most, we call them miracles. This is manifestation. This is how energy is working. This is the energy exchange between our energy field and the cosmos and life in general. So wonderful, wonderful. Thank you for bringing that up. And exactly. And it's all based on, so the seeds get planted. These are lessons we've learned already. These are experiences we've already had that have caused us either great hardships, great trauma and pain. We've come to the other side of them. They then become our source of wisdom, healing, medicine, empowerment. It is a natural instinct in us because we have lived and experienced it, and we are no longer traumatized by it. We are no longer victims of it. We are now evolved, elevated consciously because of having gone through what we had experienced. And if we are feeling compelled and compelled to use that medicine, use that wisdom, that experience to help for the betterment of others, of humanity, trust me when I say that is thy will, divine will. All right, that was the first message. 5 of materials. Feel fear of failure, fear of not knowing enough. I went through this because it feels so big, because we know what it feels like to go on the awakening journey. Intense. We're suddenly not living life the way that everybody else is, and the way that we were brought up to, and the way that we maybe had been. And that feels right, yet it also feels like, who am I to actually, you are here to exactly do what it is that internally is calling to you. What's that Picasso quote? The object of life is to find your gift. The meaning of life is to give it away. Yes, exactly. So instead of letting fear or just not know. That's just an aspect, that's a part of you, that's a protector part. It's part of the ego, and it's like, I don't know, this is such a good idea. But if you're feeling it, in your heart, if you're feeling ready, if you're feeling the call, it will come to you. The opportunity will present itself. We have the world below that, which speaks of completing chapters in our life. One door closes and then the other door opens. So we are wrapping up chapters in our life. Now, not everybody will be ready to turn the page into the new chapter yet. Some people have to go back to the beginning again and reread that story. You know, everybody's a little bit different. Expect the unexpected help from others. Expect unexpected help from your higher self. Support where you didn't expect it to come from. My neighbor's playing his date. I love it when we have music going on in these readings. It's 3:33 here. That's perfect. Let me see if any other messages with that 3:33. I'm like ready to wrap it up. I'm like, let's do one more. Let's see if any other messages want to come through. I love doing these live. $12:33 there. It's still 3:33 on my phone here anyway. That's my number. That was the time I was born. And also my website, my YouTube channel, my email address. Strength. Strength, courage, endurance, and taming that ego, that inner beast that comes up and disrupts the flow of life. Now, this can be linked to distorted masculine or distorted feminine energy that still might be left over, you know, and worried about what other people think, it's that worry. It's this perfectionism thing as well. I know for myself on my journey, in my new experiences of doing one-on-one coaching sessions with people, the universe keeps beefing it up. So now I'm engaging with someone who has oh my gosh. Okay, we're not going to go there right now. All right. So engaging with someone who has a disability and is not able to communicate all the way. We're just going to put it that way. And be like these little levels that I'm being asked to do slowly but surely. It brings up fear because I don't want to fail. I don't want to hurt anybody I don't want to confuse anybody on their path, because I know it's not a one size fits all. It is definitely everybody's experience is very unique to their own. Got to stick with what feels right. That's right. Definitely. And the next card out is the Seven of Inspiration. So many of us are pushing back the dark thoughts, the negative feelings. We're holding the light. There's a lot of density, a lot of dense energy that's like constantly pushing in on us. But instead of letting it absorb and bringing it in, we are holding it back. That's Virgo. Here we go with the Five of Materials again. All right. So the message here is to, stick with your strengths. We all have strengths and weaknesses. To honor both. I'm not strong in, there are many aspects of life that I would consider being a weakness of mine. And I'm not going to look down upon them, but I know that somebody else is better equipped with certain aspects of life than I am. But I have strengths in other aspects that is their weakness. And we're meant to really work together, like confluence, flow together with that. So we're all unique, yet we also can fit together like a puzzle and work together in a much more conducive way. So having the strength and the endurance and the patience on the journey to break through and break free from old paradigms and negativity, density, dark energy, things that are stuck with us from our past and from past lives and from our family patterns, our ancestral patterns. Holding the light, like, this is what feels right. I mean, you really, once you know, you can't go back. Once you see, you can't unsee. So, we are in this void period also to acclimate ourselves in the flow, so that we are able to really flow with life instead of being so regimented and rigid, like it's got to be this way. Because once you transition into more of a spiritual journey, it is not that way at all, at all. And life will show you, the universe will show you, yeah, you can't operate this way anymore. You've got to trust, you've got to have faith, you've got to feel your way through things instead of using this mind. Otherwise, you're going to end up right there with feeling lost. This can also speak of, like, some people may be experiencing low energy, especially with these solar weather, depression. There's a whole stream of dark energy that's flown in, and this girl's like curled up in the fetal position. Yet there's light. There is an open window of possibility here. She just needs to wake up to see it, to experience it. We have the Queen of Emotions at the bottom of the deck overall, speaking of getting in touch with the emotions, being able to regulate our emotions, not being so reactive to everything. But when you experience something that feels intense, be like, wow, that was intense. Okay. And then dive into the introspection. Have the strength to not let it carry you away or like take you down, basically. And then we have the Two of Voices below that, which is the split aspects of the self in the mind. It's two very prominent, dominant, but very opposite belief systems. It could be masculine, feminine sides of the brain, logical thinking, intuitive mind. They can work together, but you got to bridge them with the heart. And you can't let one be more dominant than the other. That's where balance comes in. Let's see. Back to Picasso quote, corrected. The meaning of life is to find your gift. The purpose of life is to give it away. Yes. Yes, 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 yes. And it is important that we don't sit on our gifts. Many of us, it actually can be really painful. And you could feel like a firework that's been like lit, but it doesn't have anywhere to shoot off to. It's like internal combustion. It's very painful to not share your gifts. So hello. It's extremely painful to not share your gifts, especially when you're called to. You will have big waves of energy come in and really inspire you. That's divine inspiration that will really, you can't miss it. And if you're not experiencing that yet, it's honored where you're at. You're still in the void. There's still something that is integrating, that is healing, that is you don't want to rush through anything, because there's nowhere to rush to. This is it. We are in, the joy is in the journey. It's not about a destination. So if you're not 100% sure of like what I have to offer humanity, even though it's already within you, this is your opportunity to sit with yourself and really dive deeper into this is also your opportunity to invite the universe, invite life in to show you more of what you're meant to be giving, that you're already born with, you've already experienced, you've already overcome. It is very natural to you. And some people, their unique intuitive gifts, especially wait for Neptune to move a little bit. Intuitive gifts, sometimes they spontaneously turn on, and this is a great time for that to be happening too. I wanted to bring that up also, so I'm glad that they came up with the solar weather, with the activity with Neptune, and much, much more. Because this is what happened with me. I knew that I had these gifts in my childhood, and I've had many people tell me that I had those gifts, but I didn't believe it for most of my life. I turned it off as much as you could. You can't really fully turn it off, but I turned it off to navigate life like everybody else, until one day, it just, bam, everything came online. You can't miss it. You can't miss it at all. So there are some that have that, some others that aren't as stubborn as I am. They have like a slowly starting to evolve into, but for many of us, it is, one day out of nowhere, suddenly you're a seer. You have the ability to see what not everybody can see. And that can be very shocking, very shocking. But there's also a mechanism internally that says, this is you, this is your gift. You know it, you just know it. It's amazing and it's terrifying all at the same time. Codes to live and work by: research, inspiration, generation, refinement. Yeah. Generation, refinement. There was something else that came through when I was talking just now. Let's see if it comes back. We're talking about the solar storms and Neptune and things happening quickly for some, insights coming online quickly, intuitive gifts coming online quickly, as well as a lot of paranormal activity for many happening very quickly. Unbeknownst to many people, this stuff happens. It's always around us. It's always around us. It's just the ability to, our senses. Thank you. I knew it was coming back. One way you can actually, and this is very true, you can ask for your sensitivities to be turned up or turned down. And just sit and gaze at a candle, sit and speak to spirit, ask, please turn up my sensitivities. Like if you want to try you want to intuitively read something or someone, ask for it to be turned down when you're going out into public, so I don't feel everything. And you'll start to be able to do that for yourself too. It is all in baby steps. 5 years ago, I had a hard time walking out my door without putting like headphones on and a hat on and like constantly like navigating energies, and like everything was so vibrant and online and alive, sounds, visions, colors, other people's energy, and I didn't know how to navigate it then. So it was, but also life brought me into a place in time where I was given more room and space to learn about that. You got to want to learn You know, we have to do our part too here. But the cosmos is really working hard with us. Our guides are working really hard with us. We just can't expect that it's all going to be done for us. We just have to listen to how the energy is talking to us, how we feel it, how we experience it. So let's get one last message for us all. I don't know which one. All right, we're going to use this one. From the Oracle of the Seven Energies. All right? Oh no, Starseed. So one last message for us all, and I'm going to wrap this one up. Sorry, my Virgo South Node knew I had it wrong. I take it you like to have things exactly right, Martin. Picture perfect. I'm so much the same way, and I don't think I have anything in Virgo. Pretty sure I don't. I don't have any Earth in my chart. I mean, I have Earth in my chart. I don't have any planets in Earth in my chart. Okay. Anyhow, let's get one last message for us all. And you can tell from my note-taking that, and the guides always laugh at me, I'm always afraid that I'm going to miss something, or I'm not going to give the message as crystal clear and as beautifully received as it was. I'm going to screw it up somehow, because it comes through the channel of my consciousness and my mouth and my words. And so there's where automatic writing comes in. Like, if you are a writer, if you feel called to write and suddenly you're like, where did these words come from? How did all this come? That's automatic or channeled writing. I like to do that a lot, so I cover all bases in case it doesn't come out of my mouth the way that it was given to me. But that, you know, in of itself. Oh, I love this one. Okay, good. Brilliant. All paths lead to home. Inner authority, intuition, turn your gaze within. How about that? The other thing to always be aware of is whatever energy we're possessing, whatever thoughts, feelings, energy, where our heart is, where our mind is, especially when we're engaging with others, whatever that is, we are giving and receiving of that. That is also a gift if you are in your heart, but it can also be not so nice of a gift if you're not, and vice versa. Oops. It's normal to look to the external world for answers and guidance. What's revolutionary is turning your gaze inward. You're being called to source your guidance from within, to study the terrain of your inner landscape, to develop a reliable relationship with your soul. The more time you spend connecting with your soul, the deeper the connection will become. The challenge for empaths is staying connected without cutting off from the world. The best way to do this is to develop a daily practice that helps you to keep checking in, to draw on the wisdom within and let that be the authority in your life. If this card appears, you may be called to develop or switch up your spiritual practice, to get in the habit of turning your gaze within, getting centered for the day before consuming anything from the outside world, to start from a feeling of at-homeness, and throughout each day to find simple ways to keep coming home. This doesn't mean switching off from the realities of today's world. We need as many conscious people as possible living with their eyes wide open. Rather, it's a call to start your day from a place of connectedness, grace, and devotion. So when you go out into the world and when you let the world in, you do it from an unshakable state of being, a state where you draw your strength, authority, and guidance from a place deep, deep within. There you go. That is the perfect message for all of this. I should really just pull one of these cards before I even start speaking to everybody. Yep, check yourself first. All paths lead to home. There is no true destination. Destination is home, but that needs to be within as well. So enjoy your journey. Enjoy the presence of each and every day, each and every moment day brings to you. You'd be surprised at what you'll pick up on and what seeds might get planted within you that if you actually allow them to germinate and get a little excited about and push away the negativity or the naysayer inside of you. I can't do that. Other people are better than I am at that. All of those kinds of things. Override that. This was divinely inspired in me, and I'm going to just mull it around inside and see if something sprouts. The next thing you know, someone's going to ask you a question. It's going to be random, but it's going to be really detailed to what seed had been planted in you. You'll start to see the first breadcrumbs of the universe speaking to you. Or you could see big ones like me. Usually it comes to me on a silver platter. I'm like, I don't know, let me sit on that. And you have the opportunity of doing that. So don't get upset and discouraged if you're not sure, but don't pass anything away. Use discernment, use your heart, use your intuition and your guts. Let's see. Thank you for your time in this reading. I was supposed to hear this message today. Oh, thank you for tuning in and joining and interacting. I appreciate all of you. Thank you for your time and energy, messages, insights, and light. Home is where the heart is. Yes, it is. Absolutely. And I am just so grateful to be here with you guys and be able to just give these messages as I receive them. I give them. I don't hold on to them. I can't wait to actually give them a lot of times. And I feel very grateful and blessed to be in that position. So whatever else I can do to continue this, I will do that. So thank you all. Sending you all much love. Take good care of yourself through the solar weather. And let it empower you. Definitely let it empower you. So sending you love. Bye.